Indians playing in India versus Indians playing overseas. It's a topic after your heart, but it's also a topic that has been much talked about in New Zealand, because we had an exclusive interview of Ravi Shastri to Cricbuzz, and there's a lot that he said, but we've just decided to pick a few little precious nuggets from him. And this was one of them, when I said this is the best travelling team in the world across all formats, they laughed. Today they know I wasn't speaking French. Now, a lot of things I know about Ravi Shastri, I'm not sure about his ability to speak French.
Yeah, but the Français, they also talk a little bit of sense.
Oui, they do.
Un tout petit peu, but a little bit of sense.
Parlez-vous français, Zahir? Yeah.
Indeed.
Indeed, very good. Well, Ravi for sure.
Très bien.
Ravi for sure speaks better English than French, but it's the words that really matter. Talking about being the best travelling team he's felt, and I know that numbers can suggest one thing, but you've got to put numbers into perspective. So let's have a look at these numbers we've put down. This is India's overseas record since 2018, and across formats we're looking at the Test match format, 33.33%. Just to put in context, if you look at previous times, it's been far lower, except one little period in 2006 to 2008, and I think you had a point of view on that, Zahir.
Well, first of all, when you look at Indian cricket, you talk about decades, you talk about heroes, you talk about people who we have given that inspiration and the platform for the next squad to build from there. That's something which is very evident. So if you see the numbers in the larger scheme of things, then that graph is always going higher, and that's something which probably started. I can talk about since the time I started with my journey with the Indian team, and that was from 2000. So the main focus was about winning those overseas matches and overseas tournaments, tours, and limited overs as well. So that focus, that goal has been set through that period, and the success of that is seen over the years, over the last 2 decades, now 19 years almost. If you see, that percentage has always been going higher and higher. I think what is the test match numbers also suggestive. If you're just purely talking numbers, then that there is not much of a difference, because if I go back to 6, 7, 8 season, the win percentage was and this is Sena countries. If you count West Indies in
it
this,
gets up even higher.
Probably the test match numbers will go higher. In terms of white ball cricket, T20 was pretty much non-existent till that point. Since 2007, the format has really picked up. So those numbers are irrelevant to this debate.
Completely, yeah.
As far as white ball cricket ODIs are concerned, I think there has been a serious improvement, on that front, and mainly it was the factor of the 2 wrist spinners which have been come into play. They've been creating that scenario in the middle overs, putting pressure on the opponents, and those numbers also, if you put it into context, will tell a story. So when you're talking about all these numbers and comparative, I think it's always a hard debate to go on, and I mean we can keep discussing about it and it will never end.
Exactly, until we all learn French fluently. But I mean, Ravi is someone who's known to speak his mind, whether it's upstairs in the commentary box, downstairs in the dugout. Your take on this?
No, I completely accept what Zahir is saying, that one generation learns from another generation. Till the early 2000s, India assumed they were going to lose when they went overseas. Well, I mean, that's too strong a statement, but they thought they were going to lose when they went overseas. The mindset had to change, so you started winning test matches, if not series. You started winning test matches. You won test matches in Australia, you won test matches in South Africa, you won a series in England, and those are mighty fine teams. I know 2003-04 there was no McGrath, there was no Vaughan, but it was an outstanding batting side that you dismantled in one of the test matches. South Africa 2006-07 was an excellent side, but the mindset started to change, so the subsequent teams then say, yes, we can win. So my only concern is we shouldn't say this era is better than another era, because it's all Indian teams. And one generation learns from another, because then people start to say, okay, how strong was the Australian team then? How strong was the England team then? What kind of South Africa were we playing? And that leads to divisive arguments.
Yeah.
Because we don't want divisive arguments. So what I like is Ravi is very proud of the team that him and Virat are taking, and that is how it should be. You should be very proud of what you're doing. but I would hesitate to say this team better than other teams. What you're saying across formats is true. This Indian one-day team is something very, very special. So I buy the argument about across teams, but I won't worry too much about this generation versus another generation.